So good evening, good morning, everyone. My name is Pierre, and I'll be the coach hosting this challenge today. And actually, the challenge that starts next week, so it's a bit different than all the other kickoffs, as normally we start on the day of the team challenge. But here, as we have something a bit special, we wanted to start a bit earlier than the team challenge. So happy that you are all here to join. I hope you're going to have a very great time for the next 25 minutes that we are going to spend together. And I can't wait to see you in 1 week in the team challenge. So welcome to this book club, which is a bit different than all the other ones that we have done, as we picked one specific book, which is actually written by Jordan. And we're going to read it together over the course of next week and share our learnings, what we can learn from the book, what are the tips, and actually apply them together as we grow together. So my name is Pierre. I actually grew up in Belgium, and I wanted to share pictures of fries to say that actually French fries are actually from Belgium, but I thought I'll forget about the food today. And I'm actually living in Vienna, in the beautiful city of Vienna. So this is not the picture, the image that I see from my window actually, but it looks like this, Vienna. A few months ago, I thought I want to read, actually a few years ago, I wanted to start to read a bit more books in my life. And instead of thinking, oh, I have to read the book and then never stops and read everything at once, I thought I'm just going to break it down into small tasks. So I took the habit of reading for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, actually. So which was just 20 minutes per day. But if you read 20 pages every day, in 10 days, you read a book of 200 pages. So I thought actually that's kind of a cool technique, because you can learn, apply a bit more, and discover more about what's inside the book. My favorite quote of all time is actually the one of Walt Disney. And for everything that I start, I'll always put this quote in front of me. And it's all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And so also something that's linked to this one is forget that everything started with actually a pen and a mouse. And I think it's very inspiring to think that all our dreams can come true when we can pursue them. A fun fact about me is that I've never read Harry Potter. So I mainly read books that are nonfiction and mainly about personal growth and business. And one specific topic is that I really believe that it's important to live with passion and stay curious in everything that we do in our lives. So that was over me, and I'm curious to know where you are from. And if you want to annotate this map and put a small star of where you are, otherwise you can share it in the chat. So it's easy for everyone to highlight where you are from. So we have someone from Spain, someone from Italy, from Poland, from California. Every month I pick this map, and then after I'm thinking probably should take another one or share in the chat. But I think it's cool to see that we all belong to the same planet, actually. And why a book club? Why did I choose to pick to start doing a book club? And I think, what do we expect from a book club? And I took this quote that I think summarized it well for most people. What is so painful about reading is that you read something and you don't have anybody to share it with. In part, what the book club opens up is that people can read a book and then have someone else to talk about it with. Then they see that a book can lead to the pleasure of a conversation, that the solidarity act of reading can actually be a part of the path to communion and community. And I think it summarizes well about sharing, being in a community and conversation. And I think this month I'm so excited to read all of us the same book, as it will create a conversation like nothing else that we have done before. As before, we're speaking different books to read for all of us. So here we really will have the same content and boil it and generate a conversation together. So I hope that we are all here for the same purpose of sharing it together. The 7 days of this team challenge will look like this. So some days we'll have tips, definitely have learnings from the book, we'll have the reading, definitely the sharing also, and encouraging each other to read and to keep on this team challenge. And we'll have a call somewhere in the end of the team challenge to see how everything has been, if we want to share more in real what we have learned, more in the chat. So the book for this team challenge is You Deserve This. I don't know how to pronounce it, Jordan, which is actually written by Jordan, and contains lots of inspiring stories and inspiring self-discovery. I think when I've been starting to read this book, it's all about discovering who you are inside yourself through the eyes of Jordan, and sharing all his experience and stories. And it's definitely a book which purpose is to empower you to become the best version of yourself. So now we have a small discussion with Jordan, who actually wrote the book. So Jordan, thanks for joining us. Can you tell a bit more about yourself and how the idea of the book came to you?
Yeah, I'm really excited to share this book in the book club this time around. I am a writer by trade, and I've always been, well, not always interested in writing, but interested in personal growth. And I went on a solo backpacking trip in 2016 where I started journaling for the first time. And that's kind of where I cracked into the beginning of my journey of self-discovery. And ever since that trip, I've been just highly addicted to writing as a whole. And I knew I wanted to share lessons that I learned through my own experiences that helped me become the best version of myself. And so there was always an interest in putting together a self-help book to help teach the tools and tactics that I've used in my life that I've seen work for me, and help teach those to other people. And so that was really the driving purpose of this book, was to help other people kind of tap into their most authentic self, live aligned with their most, core, their core values, their beliefs, and just to, give them a path and a companion, a toolkit that they can rely on to live out the life that they envision for themselves.
That's cool. I think also it's interesting in your book, you say that actually at the beginning it was hard to write, but the more and more you were in front of the blank page and you started to write, the more it came naturally.
Yeah. With practice and over time, I feel anything can become natural or can become a habit. And that's something I teach in the book, is that in life, we need to focus on repetition and not perfection, because perfection is, it can really hold you back from trying something, because if you want to be perfect, then more often than not, you're also going to fear not being perfect. You're going to fear imperfection. And so you're actually not going to try the things you want to do, because you're going to think you can't be perfect, and therefore you're not going to do them. But if you can just focus on repeating the action for the sole purpose of repeating the action, over time, it will, whatever that thing is that you're doing, is going to just become a natural part of your life. And that's kind of how I got into writing. And that's how I got into writing books, was just kind of put some words on paper every day and kind of see where it would lead me.
I think that's true. Everything should start just with dream, a pen, and you start doing everything. And after you polish it, the more that you do your activities. So do we have some tips on how to best approach a book? In which conditions should we put ourselves? Should we imagine that we are in a backpacking trip through Europe, actually?
I think the best way to read this book is to imagine that your best friend is giving you advice, that someone on your team is giving you advice, and that they have also been through these things themselves. And I think with that perspective, you could be more willing to be open to the different things that are going to be taught.
Yeah, that's actually very good to imagine that you are like, I think it's also taking it from someone who want your good, and be actually curious for every content that comes, every tips that arrive, and you are actually listening to what your best friend has to say, and to discuss with yourself internally to discover yourself.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I just have some gardeners behind me. So give me 1 second until they leave. Okay, they're gone, kind of. I think it's important to know that just the things that you're going to read in this book are strategically planned. And the book is written in a way that you can almost follow it like a how-to guide or a step-by-step process. But at the end of the day, it can become just like your companion. Just as the book club can become your companion, as you can have these conversations with people in the book club, you can also start to rely on the book as a companion and as a toolkit. Even after you finish reading it, something you can use to refer back to, and use as like a reference guide of reminders and things like that, just to keep you headed in the right direction. And then also refreshing your mind on maybe lessons that can help you improve areas of your life that you're really trying to improve on.
I think that's true. It's I really love how the book is shaped. So it starts with like stories, and how accomplishing this step helped you to become the best version of yourself. And so it's really shaped so that it's actually a playbook on how to become, and probably to add more and more of these in our lives.
Yeah, totally. And something I say in the beginning of the book, and something I still, I believe is true, that there will be things that maybe don't resonate with you at the time of reading the book, and that's completely okay. I think it's wrong to think that someone's exact path can work perfectly for your, life as well. We're all unique individuals, meaning different things will impact us in different ways. And so I think being open to whatever sticks in the book, and really kind of honing in on those lessons is the best way to approach it. And then, compared to thinking everything in the book is going to apply to you. And so it's okay if there's things you reject, or things that maybe you're not ready to receive. I think what you're meant to receive from this book, you will receive those things at the correct time.
That's actually very good what you say, and it reminds me also of the quote, when the student is ready, the master comes. So even if now you read the book and you're like, oh no, this one I cannot apply, probably a bit later you can read it again and discover new things that come back. I think also it's true that it's that's why it's good to read different books about personal growth and everything, and take different approach from the people, because we can all learn from each other. And it's actually why this book club is also here, is to all learn from each other, from all our experience, and never forget that everybody is unique, and so you build your own opinion and approach, and how it's the best to discover who is the best version of yourself. Thanks, Jordan, for these tips, and thank you for staying with us for the team challenge, so we can share also more about the book together. So I have some tips for you for this team challenge. So how do we, the best tips I can give. So if you have also any other tips, Jordan, anyone else want to share tips with each other about how do you approach reading? For me, it all starts with the before, during, and after. I like to define a cool environment to read the book. Be sure that nothing will disturb me during the time I'm reading. So I turn off every notification that I have. I just put a music that will stop automatically at the end of the 10 minutes of reading, so I don't have an abrupt stop with the alarm clock. And during the time, it's really about focusing, like not answering anything. Nothing can disturb me. It's me and the book reading. It's actually cool that I ask about the environment. Should we imagine ourselves in a backpacking trip? Because I think I'll just open my backpack and put it in front of me and imagine, oh, actually, that's where everything happened. And after the book, I think it's always sad to think I will just remember what my mind reminds itself, but it's actually taking some notes about what you read. What are the key elements that you spotted, or what are stuff that you think is important, even if you don't understand it right away. And I think this one is also actually a great one, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't understand it, but I feel it's something important, so I can come back to it a bit later. And so it allows you to have great summaries of all the books that you have read and make connections in better ways. I don't know if, Jordan, you have any other tips on how to read, or anyone else want to share?
No, but I do just kind of want to echo what you were saying about environment. I think that's really important, because life's already really distracting, and challenges are much harder to overcome if you allow those distractions to kind of flood in your environment during the time of you doing the work. And so I really love, and this is something I practice as well, is turning off your notifications, turning off your phone, or getting it out of the room, because it's so easy to quickly look at your phone and then totally have your mindset and like mental clarity kind of just go in the opposite direction. And something that I have found help me is, with reading specifically, is doing it at the same time, kind of how, Pierre, you were saying you do yours in the morning and the night, finding that same time for you throughout the day. That way, you know when you're going to take action and complete the challenge, instead of trying to decide every day when it will fit into your schedule. So fit it into your schedule beforehand, deciding, okay, at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 7 p.m., I'm going to do 10 to 20 minutes of reading, whatever it is for you. I think that is key to making sure that you have consistency throughout your week.
Yeah, great tips. Perfect. Now let's watch a small video on how to down actually a team challenge on Uloo, and particularly this one.
Want to join a team challenge on Uloo? Here's how. Go to the Challenges tab. Here, you can either click on Join a Challenge for the complete list, or scroll through the recommended challenges. Once you've decided on a challenge, you can check out all the details, see if this challenge serves your goal, what you will do in this challenge, and get to know your coach better. Mark the dates of the team challenge and get ready to join. While waiting for the kickoff call where your coach will introduce you to the challenge, feel free to say hi to your teammates on the chat. You'll be able to see all of the activities and track your progress under the Me tab, and view your teammates' progress under the Team tab. If you missed any activities, don't worry. They'll be available under the Me tab for you to catch up. And congrats! By joining a team challenge, you've begun your path to self-growth with Uloo.
Cool. So don't forget to join this team challenge. It's called the Personal Growth Book Club. You deserve this. Perfect. So every day you are going to receive activities on the app on Uloo, and you can find them through the Me tab. Every time you can see all the description and the content and the resources. So also, if you click here, you will get access to the resources for this specific activity. You will also be notified and see the activity in the chat, where you can discuss with each other and share reactions, share pictures, and encourage one another to read more and read actively the activities every day. So final tips for this team challenge: stay curious, be open-minded about everything that you are going to read, because probably you can catch up some stuff that can make your life better. Don't forget to share, participate, and definitely ask for help if you are blocked with something or some activities. We are here to empower one another and work together, so don't be afraid. We are here for you. You can always contact me directly via the app Uloo, otherwise via email to pierre@uloo.me. As Jordan said, can always recommend to set a specific time to work. So what works best for me is as soon as I wake up in my morning routine and just before going to bed. So I close every notification before, and then I read, and I can fall asleep a bit faster. And definitely don't skip for more than 2 days in a row. Otherwise, it's more difficult to catch up. And here, at least, you will make this a habit that hopefully will go on after this team challenge. There is a first activity actually in the app waiting for you. So don't forget to share the dream life you deserve in the chat, and we are going to pick lucky winners that can get a free copy of the book tomorrow or Wednesday. So you have time to get the book by Monday next week. Do you have any question, reactions about this team challenge? Are you excited as we are? I'm listening everything that you have to say or want to share. Or you can just share a small heart or reaction in the app. Looking forward to read
Pierre,
together.
how many? Question, just to kind of clarify for people watching this maybe later or today, how many free books are available to win?
That's something that we are going to look. We go up to 5, but it will depend on what are the best stories that we read, and we can pick them.
Cool. Nala, answering your question in the chat, she said about the name of the book, why did Jordan choose this name as a title for the book? My thing is, I believe everyone deserves the opportunity to become the best version of themselves. And I wanted this book to serve as that reminder, because it's so easy to forget about that. It's so easy to think we are not worthy or deserving of specific things in life that may feel out of reach at the current phase of our journey. And so from the second someone picks up this book, I want them to have this affirmation that they do deserve this. They do deserve getting unstuck. They do deserve finding their path and becoming the best version of themselves. And so this was my way of kind of capturing that and having the experience and the energy of the book start on the cover. Good question, by the way.
And also don't forget to mark your activities as completed just by putting pressing the small empty circle here. No more question. That was actually a great question. I always ask myself, oh, actually, it's a kind of reversing the stuff you deserve and then provocative with the item. Thanks everyone for joining. See you in the app. Enjoy today, enjoy the week, and see you next week for the book club. Don't forget to get the book or answer what's your dream life about in the Uloo chat, so you can be one of the lucky winners here. Thanks, specific thanks to Jordan for joining us and for sharing all this with us.
Of course.
Bye-bye, everyone.